Welcome in, folks, to the Alabama Bass Trail's 2022 Best of Show. Miss Kay, we got some top teams here to talk about their season, their accomplishments, the good, the bad, the ugly, and as we get ready for this championship that's coming up tomorrow or this weekend.
It's an exciting time on the Alabama Bass Trail. These guys that we are going to showcase tonight have had amazing careers on the Alabama Bass Trail. It's not just that this season was successful, but they've had a lot of different seasons that have been successful. We've got multi-time winners here. We've got multi-time Angler of the Year winners here. So it's going to be a real cool show. I'm excited.
Sure. Well, we're going to kick it off with our South Division third place Angler of the Year points. Josh Chappell, Paul Davis. Let's talk about your season on the South. 2 times on the podium this year, second at Martin and a third at Eufaula. Let's go to Lake Martin real quick. Second place by the smallest of margins in ABT history, 4/100ths of an ounce. How'd that feel?
How do you think it felt?
I knew that was coming.
It stung a little bit.
Stung a little bit. I mean, was that a tournament that you guys really felt yourself was in contention for after practice? I mean, did you feel like you could win that tournament?
We felt pretty good after practice, but I mean, we didn't know if we could win, but we knew we were around some fish, and but didn't know it was going to be that close.
So 8th place at Logan Martin to start the season, then you go to Lake Martin, obviously. Would you have done anything different looking back on it?
I don't think
Had a
so.
few more drops of water in the bag or something. That'd have been pretty good.
That'd help.
Yeah.
Soak that bag a little bit longer. Yeah. That's I agree with that. But third place in points. You had a third and fourth tournaments. A little worse for wear, but come back with a third at Lake Eufaula, and you guys were 5th in points at that point. Mm-hmm. Any strategies going into Eufaula, just trying to stay in that top 9, just trying to catch a limit? What were your thoughts? Because a little different event at Eufaula this year.
So past history, we caught them there. Was it 2018? Maybe finished third, I think there. Put in a lot of work. We had to win the bass tournament, and it had to fall right. Of course, fixing to see them, Wes and Brian were down there putting their work in too, but. I think Rob Lee and Steve Winslet. Mm-hmm. These guys are as good as anybody, man. You got to put your work in, and everything's got to fall right. Well, we knew they were going to catch them, but I mean, to us, it was win and let the chips fall, and we got as close as we could possibly get. So, and then the chips didn't fall right. So that's the way it goes.
You guys have finished on the podium in the North, South, the 100, and our championship. And to my knowledge, that's the only team that has ever done that. That's pretty cool. So how do you go about being able to be successful in that many divisions against this kind of competition?
I think we pride ourselves on being, we don't have one strength. I mean, we can do anything really. I mean, not the best, but we're, we can fish shallow or deep, and different rivers. We just travel. We don't fish our home lake all the time. We travel around, and it just helps us be better fishermen.
What is your home lake?
Logan Martin.
Okay. All right. Practice strategy. Together, separate. How many days? What do you guys normally do?
Separate every time. I like to say he's more comfortable kind of offshore. Of course, he's as good as anybody's I've ever been with, doing anything he wants to do, but he's better offshore than I am. I prefer to be on the bank, so we just kind of, sometimes we'll split the lake, sometimes we don't even talk to each other through practice. We just kind of go fish the lake. It doesn't even matter where you go in, what you do. Everybody's going to see stuff different, so, and then we kind of, maybe the night before the tournament, a lot of times it's really the night before the tournament, we'll just kind of gather what we found and make a game plan. A lot of times, to be honest with you, especially in transition times, even like here at Lake Jordan Championship, you may not know where you're starting until 3 seconds before you blast off.
Right.
I mean, it's just the way it is. But we always practice separate and talk about what we did basically the night before. That's how we operate. And the lake depends on, the lake we go to depends on it too. I mean, say you go to Eufaula, it's traditionally offshore, or you go to the Coosa River, depending on the current, if there's not any current, it kind of dictates that. So that's the way we operate. We just kind of work as a team. That's the best way to do it, because these guys are too good. They're the best in the country.
Sure.
All in all.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Automotive, where it's always Bill Penny time. By Jack's, all about the South. And by Sweet Home Alabama.
In 2009, it all started with this 721 Pro XP and a passion to build the best fishing platform in design, performance, and construction for all of our customers. Through the years, motors have changed. Electronics have changed. But the passion to build the best bass boat possible has not changed. Everyone at Phoenix believes we got it right the first time.
Bill Penny Toyota is Alabama's #1 volume Toyota dealer. But that's not the only reason to get to know Bill Penny. Enjoy a 10-year unlimited warranty on every new Toyota in stock. Get 1 year of 24/7 roadside assistance. Test drive for the chance to win $5,000. You heard right. 5,000 big ones. Plus, choose from over 700 new Toyotas in stock and price to move. Bill Penny Toyota is Alabama's #1 volume Toyota dealer. Get to know us today.
Stetson Blaylock, Todd Auten, and Terry. Let's go!
Garmin Live Scope, I tell you right now, if you don't have it, you are behind. It's just wild. It's like a video game.
If you do not have that Garmin Live Scope, you are definitely missing out.
Bassmaster Classic Champion!
The splash of your paddle mimics the pelican as it drops down from above. As the calmness of the water washes away any lingering concerns, you listen to the tall grass sing of the surrounding beauty and how the best views only get better when they're shared. This is Alabama, and when you're here, you can take it all in.
Guys, we're back with the team that finished 8th in the Angler of the Year points in the North Division. Damian Willis, Tyler Kiker. Guys, we got to start this off. It's well documented in our text group how much you were excited about the 2022 schedule, right?
Oh, yeah. How many text messages did you send, Miss Kay, regarding the schedule?
We've been back and forth a few dozen times.
Thousands of times,
a few
I
dozen
understand.
At least. Okay. Somewhere between
a few dozen
and a few thousand.
A few dozen and a few thousand. Okay, I like it.
Well, congrats on a great season on the Alabama Bass Trail North Division. Probably one of the toughest tournaments that we had this year, not outside of Neely. When you look at the second tournament of the year, it's March, you're thinking, you know, pre-spawn type fishing, and on Friday, 78 degrees, and then on Saturday, 28 degrees with 20 to 25 mile an hour.
Well, 22 degrees, that's not discounted any. That 28 had been warm.
Yeah, I was trying to make my decision to have that tournament sound better.
Yeah, 28 would have felt great.
It would have felt like a heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that tournament a little bit and the differences from Friday to Saturday.
We did not have a great practice. When we got bit in practice, they were big. I mean, they were the right ones. We just couldn't get a lot of bites. It was slick, calm, it was warm. You know, the weather actually ended up helping us. We started running wind at, well, what was it, 11 o'clock? We had a couple of small fish. 11 o'clock, we were ready to go home, and we were both cold, miserable, and I said, hey, let's just pick up a crankbait and go get in the wind and see what we can do. And what, next stop?
Yeah,
next stop or two.
2 or 3 stops, we knew exactly what we were looking for.
And then it was every stop the rest of the day.
How many more stops did you make?
15 probably. Yeah. And we caught them everywhere we went the rest of the day.
Great event at Weiss. We won't talk about Wheeler. We'll move on to Gunnersville. I believe our camera guy and our drone followed you at Gunnersville over into the marina there. Talk about that practice and all that coming into that event.
Yeah, we had to race him. We thought we were going to the same spot is what happened. And when he stood up, I was like, oh, it's just camera guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we get that a lot in the north. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're waiting to get shot.
That's it was idle only, and I was like, well, I mean, he can't pass us, you know, so
and
we're going to get here first.
He was 20 foot off the engine, just right behind us. I said, not this early. Please don't start this early.
Don't try your patience this early.
Not this early.
We got to get like some chartreuse vests or something for our camera guys so you know who they are.
Oh, he thought it was hilarious. He knew we were mad.
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, yeah.
He stood up and started laughing.
And I'm flying the drone watching him, and I'm watching you look back and y'all talking. I'm like, this is fixing to get good. Yeah. But talk about that event a little bit. You finished with you ended up 26th there at Gunnersville and punched your ticket in that top 9.
That was another very, very tough practice on us. You know, we could get some bites on, you know, some of the ledge stuff, which is, you know, what you kind of think at Gunnersville in June. We were having a hard time getting bid, and when we did get bid, it was off a community hole. So we, again, just kind of went and did something different and got in the grass. And as soon as we got up shallow, it was tons and tons of bites. We didn't think we'd catch anything real big. I thought we could catch, you know, 50 or 60 and have 15, 16 pounds. But
I caught a couple, you know, what I consider a good fish here and there, but it was slow. But I knew they were still in the grass, so I think I told you. I think we hit a little ledge stuff, you know, some secret places.
Ain't nothing secret on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
You heard us asking Josh and Paul, practice strategy. Together, separate? How do y'all do it?
We're separate.
Separate?
Usually.
Okay.
Is it about covering that much water? That's really what you need to do is cover all areas and...
Yeah, do different things.
We fish a little bit different, think a little bit different, but so it kind of helps to separate, let him do his thing and I do mine, and we compare notes at the end of the day and try to do a combo of both Saturday and hope for the best.
I've hit on the fact that they weren't really excited about the 2022 schedule, but I think it's only fair to end this with what you thought when you saw the 23 schedule come out.
The schedule looks really good. That's an exciting schedule.
How many takes you get on that?
A bunch. They were equally as, no, let me back up. They were not equally as nice as they were equally as mad as the other one, but they were very complimentary of the schedule, and they did sign up for next year, so they obviously approve of it, so.
You've won on Wheeler, you've won on Smith. What, is Weiss circled on next year's schedule? Well, it's championship next year.
Mm-hmm. I want to win on all of them. I want to be the first to win on all of them.
First to win on all of them.
But, you know, that's hard to do.
That's a feat.
Sure.
That's a feat.
Absolutely.
Damon, you fish with us every year.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your time on the Alabama Bass Trail and why you would encourage people to fish the Alabama Bass Trail.
I mean, it's the best thing going. There's no other trail that you can go see the variety of lakes we have, especially in the north. You've got Tennessee River Lakes, you've got Smith, you've got the Coosa River. You get a good dose of a little bit of everything. The payout's great. They do a really good job, you know, with running the tournament.
This portion of Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is sponsored by Garmin, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and by America's First Credit Union. There's more right after this.
Buying stale, burnt coffee is like eating hot sushi out of a vending machine. It's just a no-no. Explosion. Cool guys don't look at them. As a veteran-owned and operated company, we take massive pride in giving back. And with your support, we've donated millions to charitable organizations and veterans. Do you have a lightsaber leg, Jay?
Yeah, I got a lightsaber leg.
When you sign up for our coffee club, you get fast free shipping directly to your door. I'm on a helicopter.
Taste of the South starts out here. However you roll into work, you can bring the flavor with Jack's Breakfast Catering. Huge scratch-made buttermilk biscuits and hearty breakfast sandwiches, mixed or matched, starting at just $15. Don't forget to add delicious fresh ground Royal Cup coffee and classic breakfast sides, because great work starts with great breakfast. Breakfast Catering starting at $15 from Jack's. All about the South.
welcome back to the 2022 Alabama Bass Trail Best of Show, where we welcome in one half of the Anglers of the Year team for the Alabama Bass Trail North Division, Mr. Wesley Sams. Good to see you.
Nice to be here.
Couldn't talk your partner into coming?
Nah, he stayed home. Tried to win 70 grand this weekend, so.
I can't say that I blame him for that. Wesley, you guys have fished for a long time on the Alabama Bass Trail since its inception. You've fished with John Welborn to begin with. You won an Angler of the Year with John, and now to win an Angler of the Year with Jordan. Pretty cool deal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think that's what everybody that signs up for the Bass Trail, I think that's the goal, is to be consistent and have a chance to win AOY. It's certainly one of our goals, and we were lucky enough this year to get the North. We hadn't got the overall yet, but we got the North.
Well, if I heard this right, $157,958?
That's correct.
Pretty close?
Yeah.
Any pennies in that, or we pretty much down the dollar?
You'll probably have to ask our wives, because they keep up with that a little bit more than we do. So
that's pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. We've been really lucky. Had some good tournaments, and everything just sets up right for us at certain lakes. And John and I fish well together, and Jordan and I fish well together, and we've been really lucky.
The cool thing about it is Smith Lake's your home lake. You and Jordan fish there a lot, but your biggest win, I guess, on the Alabama Bass Trail came at Lake Guntersville when you won the championship back in 2019. I mean, that's got to mean something to come off your home lake and be able to have that kind of tournament.
Yeah, and we've always liked Guntersville. I guess that's our second home. But everything, the stars just aligned right in the tournament. We made the right decisions and got the right bites, and just was lucky to put it together. It's
interesting you call Guntersville your second home when your home lake is Smith Lake, and they couldn't be two different bodies of water.
Yeah, it fishes totally different. I mean, 90% of the time we've got a spinning rod in our hand at Smith, and then going to Guntersville and trying to power fish. You would think it doesn't set right for a bunch of Smith Lake boys, but we love getting up there and fishing.
So a 9th at Neely, 8th at Smith. Weiss Lake, you guys have said it's always kind of been your nemesis, but a 17th at Weiss this year.
Yeah, we got onto something a little bit different. I don't know that a lot of people knew that the shad spawn was happening that early. We had found it, had told some guys that we had found it. They thought we were crazy. And about midway through the morning, we were kind of wondering if we were kind of being facetious about it, but we put together a little something there mid-morning and capitalized, got the right bites, and ended up with nearly 15 pounds. And that's always been our arch nemesis, like you said. So to get out of there with a top 20, we felt like that was a win.
I know going into Guntersville, you were second in the points. What was the conversation between you and Jordan? Was AOY the goal, or did you really anticipate going after the win on that tournament?
Well, we try not to look at AOY points until after the third event. We're going to try to win every tournament. If you have a couple of good tournaments, you're probably going to be in the championship. You can gamble a little bit, but David and Greg had a great year, and we knew going into that event that we're going to have to put some pressure on them.
So you've won obviously 2 Angler of the Years. You've won an ABT championship. You've won a Bass Team championship. Jordan's going on to the Classic. What's the drive to repeat?
I don't think that it's just necessarily a drive to compete or to repeat, but it's the competition. I played high school baseball, basketball, a year or two of football, and I'm just competitive. I mean, everything. We're playing Rook, I want to win. We're playing Texas Hold'em, I want to win. And I think most guys out here, especially in this championship, they're competitors. And they're going to bring it to every tournament. We're going to bring it to every tournament. And I think that's what motivates us. And it's not necessarily we have goals. We want to win AOY every year. So do these guys. We want to win every tournament we fish. So do these guys. But I think it's just the competitiveness that each year and each tournament brings that drives us.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee Company, by T.H. Marine, from transom to trolling motor, and by Mountain Dew. There's more to come.
The T.H. Marine HydroWave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The HydroWave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The HydroWave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
Research and development is more than just time in the shop for us. It's time out here, sweating the details, making boats that work as well in the real world as they do on paper. From our R&D team to our anglers on the water, we have the knowledge and passion to build you the finest fishing platform in the world.
Some things ain't worth keeping. Yesterday's traditions, today's adventures, tomorrow's memories. Now that's something worth keeping. Fish Alabama and find your keeper.
For more information, visit fishalabama.org.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Okay, time to welcome in our Alabama Bass Trail South Division and overall Anglers of the Year. Guys, I'm a little disappointed you didn't bring me any pizza tonight.
I mean, who would want to have pizza when we had this delicious meal here?
I know, but I mean, you guys are our pizza team. So let's talk about, I mean, not only ABT South Anglers of the Year, but overall beating out, you know, Sams and Wiggins there. So how does that feel?
It feels pretty good because this is the first year he's ever fished every event, and this is my first year actually ever fishing ABT trail in general, so it's a pretty good accomplishment. That was our goal at the end of the year. It felt good to actually achieve that. So
it's one of the 3 goals we set, yeah. So we're grateful for it. It was a great year. You know, we couldn't ask for better.
So what were the 3 goals you set?
We wanted to win one. We wanted to win points to the South and points overall.
Pretty good year then, 3 for 3.
Yeah, we're thrilled with it.
Guys, we got to see you a lot on camera. You get up in the points, first, second, third in points. You get to see you a lot on camera. Sometimes that's not so good. Sometimes it is good. But we actually saw you guys have a really good tournament at Eufaula. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to where you were at the Alabama River. Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about the Alabama River. You guys came back to the dock between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. Talk about that tournament. We've heard a little bit about it, but going into that tournament, water's high. Didn't even know if we'd get to have a tournament. So let's talk about that.
We didn't know if we were going to get back there either, especially that night. That was a nervous night for us, watching the water drop as fast as it was dropping. You know, like you said, concerns if it was even going to happen, just because how high it got and where we're going to be able to launch and get to the boats. Of course, you know, City of Prattville just did an amazing job of bridging that water so that we could get to the floating dock. When we got there the morning of the tournament, and when we practiced, you know, we had to walk around that grass cliff over there and kind of slide into the boat, but the morning of the tournament, we could see the bridges they made. We were nervous.
Getting in, not a problem, right? But once you get in, how much time do you feel like you've got before you've got to abandon ship and get out?
So actually going in that morning, we scrubbed.
Okay.
We scrubbed going in that morning, and
we thought we had 12 to 1 before we got there and scrubbed.
It was a pretty neat little deal, the whole setup. We went in there and practiced and measured it. I kind of had some forehand inquiry. I knew about it, and we got in there and I actually checked it because there was a part you have to get over, and I got over it, and we had like 2 foot whenever we were going in for practice. We went back there and found the one little place that was holding on to fish, and we knew that we had about 2 foot to lose, but when we got up the next morning, we had lost like 1.5 foot. So we knew at that point it was going to be risky even just to get in there, and we ended up saving with Josh and Paul, and we told them that we may not even be able to get to them. So when we got there that morning, we had to go through the woods for a long ways. So I'll be honest, we went through, we trolled through, we run into where we got to the woods and trolled through the woods for 600 to 800 yards and got across the little place. And when we went across it, I trolled across it. The troll motor didn't hit, but the bottom of the boat did.
Bottom of the keel did, yeah.
The bottom of the boat scrubbed, and I said, we ain't got long. So once we got in there, I sat down and we run to where we were going. And we got there and it happened, 25 minutes. 25 minutes, and we were just talking a minute ago, it was literally every pitch. We caught a 3 to 4 pounder and one even bigger.
So 26 at lay, then 6 at Eufaula. You made the comment you thought you were going to win Eufaula.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we were on the fish to win Eufaula, especially with a couple of places we had that were late day. Once that current hit noon to 1 o'clock, yeah, we thought we had a chance to really upgrade.
Okay.
We pretty much shut down fishing at 10:30 at Eufaula because we were pampering the one that was dying. We were trying to keep it alive, and it actually ended up expiring in the last little bit. I mean, it was hanging in there, but it actually ended up expiring. So we actually come into the marina at 11:30 that day.
Congratulations on an awesome season. You get to represent the Alabama Bass Trail as the overall Anglers of the Year for 2022. Pretty good deal.
Very good deal.
5 picks out of 5 tournaments, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I bet their wives are happy, or wife, girlfriend. Wife,
That's right.
girlfriend.
That's right.
That's right. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to the 2022 Alabama Bass Trail Best of TV show. We've had 4 awesome teams. They have a big tournament this weekend and even more to come later on this year. Thank you for tuning in.